Welcome back, Wolfpack. Today we're going to be starting ourselves a batch of mead. If you don't know what mead is, it's a modern day version of what the Vikings used to drink by the same name, made from honey, water, and yeast. First off, everything's been sanitized in Star San, mixed per the manufacturer's directions. First thing we're going to do, about 6 pounds of honey. About 3 pounds a gallon will bring you right around 14-15%. By the numbers anyway. Some of this is going to take a little while, so I'll spare you the details of all the honey pouring. Alright, we've gotten as much of this honey out as is going to want to come out. So I'm going to fill these up, well, not fill them, but I'm going to add some water to them and get the rest of the honey out. Let it all meet its destiny. Fulfill its word, if you will. W-Y-R-D. Your Viking word of the day. Your word. It's your life story. And some folks will say you got to watch out for oxidation when you're starting your brew. Now, your yeast need oxygen to start their colony. So this is actually a really, really good thing. Another thing we're going to do is take this little bit of water, and we're going to add our yeast. In this case, we're using 71B, which goes to around 16%. And I've heard tell that it's been known to go a lot further. A lot of the Alvin packets, you can just tear the tops off of them. I'm going to use the whole packet. I know the whole packet is supposed to be able to go for 6 gallons, but I just want to make sure. And we're also going to add about a half a teaspoon of fermented. Obviously, this is something I've never used before as I'm opening a brand new packet. We're going to check it out. That is a different kind of smell. I did not expect that. Give me a second. Let me get a measuring spoon and sanitize it. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think it's a half teaspoon to a gallon. I think in a lot of cases folks weigh it out, but I don't have a scale. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just start with a half gram. And in one of my shorts in a few days, I'll add another half teaspoon. And then in one of my shorts, I'll add another half teaspoon to kind of help give the yeast a boost. We're going to see how this helps out. Right into our yeast emulsion. Going to use the same spoon, mix it all up. Make sure it gets as dissolved as it can. It's not hot, not cold water, right about room temperature. This ferment does not like to break up and mix up. That's alright. We'll get her done. Sorry, it's a little warm in the house today. Alright, we're going to set this off to the side. While that's setting, we're going to add water to about almost our 2 gallon mark. I'll leave just enough room for our yeast, water, and stuff. I'm just using tap water. Your discretion. It's worked for me so far. Interesting note, the city I live in is entirely well water driven. There's about 19 wells inside the city limits here. Alright, we got our water. Get our spoon. Yes, when I say everything's been sanitized, I mean everything, even my hands. Got a lot of stirring going on. You'll be able to see on your spoon when the honey's all mixed up, there won't be any honey dripping off of your spoon. And you want to make sure to agitate it and make sure you get some extra oxygen mixed in there. I think that's a 1.5 gallon pitcher. That is massive. Alright, I'll give you guys a pause and we'll be back when this is all mixed up. Alrighty. I'm not feeling any other viscosity at the bottom, and the spoon's coming back clean. Something else I'm going to do I haven't done, so I'm going to test the pH levels of this. So from what I've learned, mead will ferment best between 4.2 and 5.5 on your pH meter. We are reading 4.7. Give me just a second. I'm going to see if I can't get you guys a shot of this. Reading 4.7 on the dot. So we're going to leave it alone. I'm not going to add any calcium carbonate to bring it down, up, or any acid mix to bring it down. Turn that off. Make sure to rinse that off and sanitize it. Alright. Now, we're going to pitch our yeast. And give everything a little extra mix just to make sure everything's still in suspension before we dump it out. There we go. I went ahead and did that since it's got liquid in it. I want to make sure my gravity reading is as right as I can get it. Mix that in. Now I have pre-drilled a hole in the lid to this bucket. I don't know if I mentioned we're making a 2-gallon batch here. I'm splitting it in half for Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm going to spice and bury it different ways for both of them. Or yule, depends on what you celebrate. But I pre-drilled a 1-inch hole with a Forstner bit, and they seem to work. It seems to work out perfectly for the bungs that I have for my airlocks. And now that all this is mixed up, we're going to take our hydrometer here, and we're going to figure out where we're at. Boy. Yeah, 1.122. So that's a little bit sweeter than I expected. And I've actually tried a batch a lot higher than that, around 1.14. It stalled out about 0.3 or 1.03. Now, this should ferment. The 71B is for warmer times, and it's definitely still summer here where I'm at. So it may take it all the way, especially with the yeast nutrients. We'll find out. There's things we can do to fix it. If it does stall out, I do have a couple of stronger strains of yeast, a KV1116 and a EC1118, both by Valvin. Both go to 18%. Just the way they're designed, they may go further. Yeast can't read, as they say. So now we've got all that figured out. We've got our notes over here. We're going to add our final gravity reading to our notes, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, if it just goes to a 1.0 on the gravity, it'll be in the 15-16% range. And 1.000, if you don't know, is the gravity of water. And what we're measuring is how much denser or how much higher the hydrometer floats because we added sugar. So I'm going to go set this with an airlock filled with star sand in my fermentation area. I would normally put it on something that's got a lip, but this bucket already has a lip, and so I'm not too worried about it making a mess before I can get to it to relieve any pressure or foaming that may occur. I've got a lot of room in here. There's about 1.5 inches between the must and the lid, so it shouldn't be a mess. But in case it is, it'll get caught in the lid, and I'll be able to catch it before it goes wild. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll be back in a little bit with another video on a wine.